It's time for the Doug Garrison Show. Baseball season is coming fast. Tonight we hear about Marquette Little League. Here's something different, beekeeping. It might be something you can do. The Marquette music scene celebrates their first year with a party at the Ore Dock. And one of the groups you'll see there and here is Fire and Air. Hey, that's us! Stick around, the Doug Garrison Show starts now.
Till the host 2 minutes. Stand by live to tape. Lighting to show level, please. Confirm front of house sound, PFL. Roll tape on masters, channel to places. Alright, let's clear the set. Cue John music, open stage mics. Standby effects, standby CG. Standby to open on 3, 2. Alright, folks, let's have a good show. Stand by, roll it in.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, folks. Those watching at home on Charter Channel 12 and on Fox UP. Well, we're almost through with February. I don't know how you feel about that, but I'm very happy about it. February is not my favorite month. I know a lot of cool things happen in the area in the month of February, but as far as I'm concerned, the best thing about it is it's short. Next up, March. In like a lion, in like a lamb, I don't care. Let's just bring it on. We got some cool things happening in March too, so it's all about the next month coming this way. Remember last year, we golfed in March? We went out on the streets on St. Patrick's Day in shirt sleeves. That's what I'm talking about. Now, we're also talking about some things that are coming up in March, like baseball registration. You might want to get into some beekeeping and a birthday bash for the Marquette music scene. So stick around. We'll be right back with all of that.
We believe success comes through more than just hard work and determination. It's about the belief that you get out of life whatever you put into it. This is why the Gilbert Dairy strives to provide you with the highest quality dairy products possible. And with 70 farms located throughout the Upper Peninsula, Gilbert is more than just a name, it's a lifestyle. So from our family to yours and throughout the communities of the Upper Peninsula, we'd like to thank you for your loyalty and support. Gilbert Dairy is helping the UP grow 1 gallon at a time.
At Bell, we understand how important your family's health is. After all, we have families too. We know that sometimes it takes more than a kiss from Mom or her chicken soup to make you all better. Bell Medical's family physicians treat you as if you were part of our family. Our families treating your family. Family practice.
Service is presented by the Marquette Community Federal Credit Union, where they are all about service to community, and we appreciate their service to the community and giving us the chance to salute those people throughout our area who give their time and talents to make these places better places to live, work, and play. And we're talking about play tonight with Mike Morgan from the Marquette Little League. Mike, it's snowing out there, but pitchers and catchers have reported to Florida, so we're talking some baseball.
Yes, we are. We're up and ready to go. We've got registration going online now for Marquette Little League. You can go out to the website, marquettelittleleague.net. Everything you need, all the forms and everything are right on the site. You can register right there. That's how we're doing all of our registration now, as a matter of fact.
And that's the only way to register?
That is the only way to register, yes.
Yeah, okay. Speaking of time of year, when do you actually get started? When do teams get assigned and coaches all players?
We will be up and running by about mid-May. That, of course, is weather and field condition permitting, but we like to get going as soon as we can in May. We actually have open gyms going at the City Gym in Marquette now. Tuesday nights is softball, and Thursday nights is baseball. It's 6:45 to 8:45.
Okay, well, let's go over that again now.
Yes.
You're telling me that young people who want to play in Marquette Little League can report to these gyms on these times and dates. It doesn't cost anything, and they can just start getting themselves into shape.
Absolutely. We've got coaches in there to help work on technique. It's absolutely free. It's just an opportunity to get kids in there to get started thinking about it and working on things for the season.
Great. Times and dates again?
It is Tuesdays for girls softball from 6:45 to 8:45, and Thursdays for boys baseball from 6:45 to 8:45.
And where at?
At the City Gym by the police station here in Marquette.
Is all this information on your website?
It is all on the website as well,
okay,
yes.
Great. That's spring training.
Spring training for our kids, absolutely.
Going down to South Marquette.
it's good to get them in there and get them going a little bit early.
Oh, absolutely. That's a great way to get started. Plus, all you can really do there is learn fundamentals.
Yes.
So that's a good way to get started. A couple questions. Obviously, Little League, all Little League is volunteer driven. Do you need parents and other volunteers to assist with coaching and other assignments?
Absolutely. The more people that we have out there helping with the teams, and also as much as running concessions, working on the fields, prepping things, any help that we can get is greatly appreciated. The more people that we have volunteering to help coaching the teams during practices, the more one-on-one the kids get, the better they'll perform.
Sure. You mentioned too, you're always looking for sponsors, and I'm wondering if you need team sponsors, other advertising type, provide financial support.
We are always looking for team sponsors or just league sponsors. We try to make sure that anybody that provides sponsorship dollars, their business name or whatever gets onto some of the apparel that the kids are wearing. We went from putting it on the jerseys to actually putting on the hats because the kids wear the hats all the time.
Absolutely, sure.
The jerseys get put away, and they wear them for the games, and that's it. So.
Well, I've always thought, and I'm a little bit in touch with what you're doing here, I've always thought if you're a business in town and you want to get some bang for your ad dollars, sponsoring a Little League team does good for the Little League, and you get so many name mentions. Everybody knows, here's the team name. It's great value. So
absolutely.
I encourage people to look into that. Now, you mentioned you're a girls coach, and I'm a little confused. I always thought Little League was boys baseball, but
nope. Little League is boys baseball and girls fast pitch softball now. Has been for a number of years. Okay. We have the majority of the kids that are in our program are boys in the baseball.
Sure.
But last year we had over 60 girls involved in the fast pitch softball program.
Well, girls fast pitch softball is growing like crazy.
It is. It really is. We had 2 minor league teams, 2 majors, and a juniors team last year.
Super. Where do these different leagues play?
All of the majority of the boys baseball is at the North Marquette Fields on Presque Isle. The juniors play there, the majors and the minors. The T-ball and the developmental we're working at the Kaufman Fields. Mm-hmm. And then Little League girls softball moved out to Lions Field in Marquette Township. They reworked the field, did a magnificent job on it. It's a beautiful facility
I've heard
now.
That. Yeah.
All of the girls softball will be out there from this point forward.
Great. So it's on a lot of nice venues. That's
yes.
Good. That's good to see. A lot of the people in the city got together within the last couple decades and put together some nice facilities. So it's kind of finally paying off.
It definitely is.
Let me ask you quickly about umpires, and that's another area where you're always looking for people. And I know there's been some issues locally about umpires and referees lately. It's a tough job. They do get paid, but it's fairly thankless. What do you want to say to somebody who might think about, gee, I'd like to help out, maybe I could be an ump?
Well, I think it's a good thing to get into. I actually officiate in a different sport. I do volleyball, so I'm a high school official. It's great to get into, to learn how to be a leader and how to control what's going on.
And stay close to the sport.
Oh, absolutely. You stay close to the sport. We provide training for the umpires, and they are paid. The umpires are paid per game. Mm-hmm. We're finding that a lot of the high school students that are, say, on the Blues or the high school team, the Reds, are starting to try to be umpires at the lower levels in Little League. Keeps them in tune with the game, and it's an opportunity to stay with the game.
And make a couple bucks during the summer.
Absolutely.
Okay, sounds good. Did you see my trophy here, Mike?
I saw that trophy.
This is my Little League All-Star Coaching Trophy, 1973. Proud of that. That was nice. Enjoyed working with young people and coached when my son went through it as well. It's a great experience. I encourage you to get involved. Great way to spend time with your family.
Yes, it is.
How are things going out at First National Trust and Wealth Management?
It is going very well. We're up and operating. We are in the building that Arby's is in, the Viridia's West Town Center. Okay, and it's great that they support involvement in the community.
Yeah. Well, good luck with that. I came to your open house. I didn't win anything, but that's okay. I didn't think I was.
We gave it the best shot for you.
I had some nice snacks when I was there. Well, good luck with that. We appreciate your service to community, too. It's a lot of time I know that you put in, and get the time spent with your kids, too. It's great.
It is. It's great.
Okay, good. All right, stick around. When we come back, we're going to talk about keeping some bees. You might be interested in that. All right, don't go away.
So, can anybody become a member at the Marquette Community Federal Credit Union? That's unbelievable! can I get a home equity loan here?
You sure can, and a car loan too.
Can I refinance my mortgage here?
You bet, and we do car loans too.
You're kidding me.
No, it's true.
Hey, can I get a car loan here too? Thanks, Monty. That was easy.
Stop in and see Mickey or Loretta at our Marquette location or visit Dan at our Harvey location. Marquette Community Federal Credit Union, home of the same-day car loans.
The Doug Garrison Show is brought to you in part by Iron Bay Computer and Design. Iron Bay gives you the quality and service you demand. And by John's Auto, voted the Reader's Choice #1 source for a used vehicle in Marquette County. 7 times. No fancy slogans, just a lot of satisfied customers at John's Auto, 1004 West Washington. Well, as usual, we're always trying to introduce new things to you. I would guess that not many of you are beekeepers. I might be wrong. I know there's some out there. In fact, one of them is with us. His name is Joel Lance. Joel, thanks for joining us.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it.
You are with the Superior Beekeeping Club. Let me ask you first, how do you get into beekeeping? How do you get started in that?
Well, it's a long, short story. It's like most parents have ended up in this position before. I had a daughter that was looking for a 4-H project, and she said, "Dad, wouldn't it be cool to have bees?" And I said, "Oh, I don't know."
Yeah.
So anyway, that's how I got started many years ago. And then your kids leave home. They leave their dog or their bees
Been
or
there,
whatever.
done that, yep.
And she left the bees, and I've been at it since, so 25 plus years.
Yeah. Well, it sounds cool to me. What do you have to do to get started as a beekeeper? What's the first step you take?
First step you take is get yourself educated, which is very easy to do today. There's a lot of information on the internet. I give sessions here at least once a year on introduction to beekeeping here in town. And we just had one 3 weeks ago, and we had, 75 people there. So a lot of interest locally.
Yeah, well, one thing you could do is join a club like yours, the Superior Beekeeping Club. You're always welcoming new members, and I would imagine that's a good way to kind of get into it, share information, find out what you need to do.
It is very easy to do. All you do is just let me know.
Visit your website.
Visit the website.
Put your web address up there.
And just come. There are no dues, no bylaws, and we just kind of...
Just a lot of people with some shared interests. What kind of expenses are involved in it?
Well, when you get involved in beekeeping, the upfront costs for a package of bees that you get, about 3 pounds of them, runs about $80.
That's reasonable.
And then you have to have a hive to put them in, and a hive, and you should have a suit, and a smoker. There's little things you need to have, and so you're looking at probably another $150. On top of that.
What kind of space do you need? I think you live in the Scandia area, I
do.
believe. I live in Marquette, but I got a big backyard. Does that work, or do you really need to live out in the country somewhere?
Well, the city of Marquette, it's my understanding, it's not completely legal or illegal to have bees in the city.
Right.
So, probably best to be outside the city. I know there are some bees in the city. I know that the city is currently looking at that.
Yeah, I'm sure my neighbors would question it, so it's not something I'm going to pursue unless I know everybody's comfortable with it. One obvious question, is it dangerous?
No, not really. You could be allergic to bees. I'm allergic to bees.
You're allergic to bees?
I'm allergic to bees, yeah. I have a Dr. Joseph here in town is my allergist. About 2 years ago, I had a reaction I've never had for all the years that I've been in beekeeping. And he says, I have a lot of people that are allergic to bees, he said, but only one dumb enough to be a beekeeper, and that's me. So.
Well, I think if you know what you're doing, you understand the safety issues and how to protect yourself with the suit and smoke and things like this. I mean, nobody likes getting stung by a bee, whether you're allergic or not. It's not a pleasant experience.
And we have young kids, we have old folks, we have men, women, all everywhere.
Yeah, let's take a look. We've got some pictures here. Here's one. This kind of shows the people in their suits working together. And do you do a lot of things as a group?
Yep, several times a year. They're either at my house. This is at my bee yard. And we have lots of people that come there, and we give demonstrations. This is a swarm.
Yeah, I can see that.
We captured, and we're going to rehive that swarm.
Yeah. Is that all bees?
That's
in that?
all solid bees. And really, when bees are swarming, that's when they're at their mildest. You could put your hand right in there, and chances are you would not be stung.
I'll take your word for that. Bees survive the winter?
Bees in the winter time. That's what they're doing. This winter, up until the last few days, I've been a little concerned because they haven't been buried. I'd prefer to see that buried.
Sure, okay. And then you're not the only nut out there?
Oh, no. We have over 200 people in the bee club.
Yeah, well, good. Well, it sounds like a cool thing. What are the benefits? I see maybe one benefit right here.
There it is. That's honey, and that's for you. Boy,
Yeah,
I'll tell
well,
you
thank
what,
you.
you'll never go back to something else.
So that's the deal. I mean, these bees produce honey.
You know what? It's more than that, Doug. We have in this country, because of pollinators, bees, 1 out of every 3 people would die if there weren't bees pollinating their food. They're essential in the whole agricultural process. And so a big part of what we're doing is pollinating and making it so people can eat.
Yeah, well, you say they're a big part of the agricultural process. Aren't they a big part of the entire environment and the whole thing? And aren't bees in danger right now? What's going on with that bees dying? And
yeah, that's called colony collapse disorder. And the number of hives has dropped by almost 1/3 in this country. And there's a big shortage of bees. And so I'm really pleased with the Marquette area of how receptive they've been to bringing bees and they're all over. They're probably close to your house.
Sure.
And but the colony collapse disorder is not a problem here in the Marquette area. We haven't seen it. We're not a big agricultural area because probably it's caused by what's called neonicotinoids, a form of pesticide.
Okay. Well, it sounds like something that, sometimes there are things out there that we can't do in Marquette because of our weather, our climate. This sounds like something we can do here in Marquette. It sounds like an interesting thing. If you're interested in bees and beekeeping, visit Joel's website, get involved with Superior Beekeeping Club. Maybe one of your kids wants to do this as a science project to get started, and you might end up as a beekeeper for the rest of your life. But it's a neat thing, and besides that, you get your own fresh honey.
Get your fresh honey.
Okay, great. Joel, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Good luck
Thank
with your
you.
bees. I'm glad to have you on. It's an exciting thing. I'm glad to have you on. Wait a second. Wait. Marquette music scene next. Don't go away. Wait.
You notice I'm calm.
A typical week of training for me is about 120 miles a week. In 2010, I had a meniscus tear after the Twin Cities Marathon. And so when I had my injury, I didn't have a second thought of where to go. I knew Advanced Center for Orthopedics, the doctors there, a lot of them are affiliated with sports. I knew that I was in the right hands. Advanced Center for Orthopedics got me back to my passion, and I recommend them highly.
There are no linen tablecloths, no fine china, and no extensive wine list. Yes, we do have great food. Yes, our hearty buffets are loaded with choices. And yes, our desserts are made fresh. Oh, and one other thing, when the bill arrives, yes.
All right. Well, thanks for sticking with us. You're going to be glad you did. With me right now is one of my good friends, Cindy Engel. Cindy, I want to say to you, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Because it's not your birthday,
You're
but
right.
it's the birthday of your baby.
Yep.
Marquette Music Scene, first birthday. How about that?
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, I think it's pretty cool too. Cindy is the force behind Marquette Music Scene, which is a kind of a clearinghouse of information about what's going on in music in Marquette County.
Yep, if it's live music and it's happening in town or even in the surrounding areas that different musicians let me know about, we post it.
Yeah, I think it's great. You know, as I've been doing this show now for a couple of years, I've become more in tune, no pun intended, with what's going on musically in this area. But to have a source like Marquette Music Scene, where now we can just go to your website or go to your Facebook page, find out who's playing where every night of the week, that's a great resource.
Yep, and it's fun for planning what you're doing.
Absolutely, you know, and the other thing I've discovered is we have a lot of very talented musicians in this market.
It's amazing how much talent we have here.
You know, I don't know that much about other communities and areas, but I think that I'll put Marquette up against anybody.
I agree. It's endless. There's always somebody else coming up, and I'm really looking at what's gone on over the last several decades even of musicians, because we've had a lot
Yeah,
for a lot of years.
we're in the golden days right now. I credit people like yourself for helping promote it. Many of our bar and restaurant owners that book these bands,
Yep,
give them a
the
place to
venues,
play.
yep.
That's absolutely important to it. And I know the
Very.
bands appreciate it. I know customers appreciate it too. Well, you're celebrating with a first birthday bash party here at the Ordock. I keep wanting to say up front. At the Ordock, it's this Sunday. It's from 5 to 10. You've got a number of different musical acts performing there.
We do. We'll have at least 15 different musical acts playing
Wow.
to keep people entertained. It's going to be a good lot of fun juggling and getting everything set up, and
That
it's
is
going to be a great time.
With that many musical acts, you're sure to hear something that you like.
That's right.
It's $5 at the door. Some of your favorite local brews from the Ordock there. I'm looking forward to it. Should be a good night.
And the taco guy will be there too.
And tacos too. So
Yeah,
you
and
take
tacos
care of
too.
everything. Well, Cindy, again, happy birthday. It's great what you're doing. I love it. You must be making a ton of money off this thing.
That's why we're having this,
Oh.
because I've been paying
We've
the
got
bills
some
for-
expenses?
Yeah,
Okay, we'll
we've
try
got
to
some
help out.
expenses.
We'll help out with the first birthday bash. All right, well, we've got one of the bands here, Cindy, that's going to be performing that night, a group called Fire and Air. And it's just going to be one of 15, but I'm sure you'll like what they do too. So stick around. We're going to come right back and check out a little bit of Fire and Air. Don't go away.
What happened to small business in this country? Corporate America came along and brainwashed us into thinking big business was best. Their greed put a lot of small artisans out of work, and along the way, personal service was trampled on. Attention to detail, customer satisfaction, gone. It's not too late for a consumer to expect more. Small businesses that feel like you do are just around the corner. Do you want a kitchen out of a box? Or a kitchen that was designed by neighbors that craft their reputation, one kitchen, one cabinet at a time? Craftsmen who still do it the American way, who take pride in a job well done. Schwalbach Kitchens has been installing American-made cabinets into homes since 1978. Kitchens with a hard-working American personality. We have the know-how to take your vision from paper and turn it into a beautiful living space. Reinvigorate your expectations with a visit to the Schwalbach Showroom on North 3rd Street, Marquette.
Ways and means, said the soul to I. Call the West Coast, 'cause I'm a lucky guy. So then you fade away, right out of sight. Let my ego go with the waves of life. Well, subject to change, everybody knows. Eve took the apple, the devil down below. Courtesy of love, shone on fun and games. Left me on my own, driving me insane. Subject to subject to change, subject to just have to say, if I could post a bed, clearly insane, Eve's really got me. Love's a funny game, well, subject to change. Everybody knows Eve took the apple from the devil down below. Courtesy of love, shown no fun and games, left me on my own, driving me insane. Subject to subject to change, subject to said the soul to I call the West Coast, 'cause I'm a lucky guy. So then you fade away, right out of sight. Let my ego go with the waves of life. Well, subject to change, everybody knows Eve took the apple from the devil down below. Courtesy of love, shown no fun and games, left me on my own, driving me insane. Subject to subject to change, subject to
The Doug Garrison Show is brought to you in part by Cliffs Natural Resources, a global mining leader with local investment and impact. Cliffs Natural Resources. And by Reflections Hair Salon, featuring professional stylists, a family-friendly atmosphere, and prices to suit your budget. For an appointment, call Reflections at 226-0175. Was it as good for you as it was for me? I hope so. I want to thank our guests. We had Mike Morgan from the Marquette Little League. Remember, register your kids now. Check out their website and get them signed up. Joel Lance was here, the beekeeper. He's allergic to bees, yet he still keeps them around. That's a man for you. And of course, we had Cindy Engel here. She's got her first birthday coming up for the Marquette music scene. You might want to go to that party. That's at the Ordoc this Sunday from 5 to 10. 15 at least different bands, including the band that we saw here tonight called Fire and Air. And I want to thank you for joining us right here on the Doug Garrison Show. We'll see you next week.